Cool. We have had like a tremendous hiatus where we had lunch and talked to my friend Aaron from Amazon, who said he would use React today if he was going to build something for the front end. And for the back end, he would do serverless architecture. You could go and just search for AWS serverless. And you can program that with Go, the lambdas. And so you could read about AWS serverless architecture right here. And then they have tutorials, which maybe we'll play around with just to kind of see what the heck is up with that. And so he would do React with serverless because he doesn't know a whole lot about Vue, but Vue looks promising to him. That was from Aaron. So we're going to explore HTML a little bit. And the first thing you need to know about that is MDN is the place we go for documentation. So if you want to learn about something, just go to MDN HTML. And here's element reference, HTML basics, HTML reference. And somebody is sending me a lot of information. My friend Steve. So here we have, so for instance, I want to know about the H1 tag, MDN H1. And that's what I'd look for. And here's the H1 through 6, section heading elements. And I'd click on that. And this is like the definitive source for finding out about stuff. And you could also go to MDN HTML and you could see this element reference. I don't know if that's the same as the element list. Main root, document, sectioning, content sectioning, text sectioning, inline text semantics, image, multimedia, scripting, table, forms. So they're organized by kind of what they do. But then over on the left, you could see all the elements here. There's like 115 of them, or 20 or something. And then some of them have little icons next to them, like a trash can. Don't use it anymore, right? Or an exclamation point. You could maybe click that and see what it means. See if there's a, what do they call that? See if there's a legend for what those things mean. So if we click it, it'll tell us here. Go here. Oh, here, non-standard, not on standards track, and obsolete, right? So you want to use that. So those are the elements, and you just kind of are like, oh, I need an element for site. What does site do, right? Describe a reference to a site of creative work, must include either a title or URL, maybe an abbreviated form. Cool, and then, you know, I looked to see what is an example of it. Here's an example. And it's got cite, and it just has cite around the citation. So cool. So that's what MDN is good for. And one other thing is, and MDN stands for Mozilla Developer Network, and Mozilla is the organization that releases Firefox, the browser. And then the other thing is, can I use? And so caniuse.com. You could go in here and you say, can I use an H1 element? And a H1, HTML4 elements. Okay, cool. Well-supported subset. You could use H1. Can I use Flex? Right? And Flexbox. And it's like, yeah, 98% of browsers support it. You could totally use it. And so here are the different browsers. Edge, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, iOS. And you can see they all are green. But if you use something like Grid, right, 87% of browsers support Grid. So it's pretty close. But older Chrome version, Opera Mini, you know, they don't. Samsung Internet, older, they don't. IE11 doesn't, you know. And how many people are using IE11? 2.68% of the world. So that's can I use. So that's kind of exploring HTML and documentation for HTML. If we were just to think about some basic HTML elements, I guess we'll go through those when we build a page because it's better to see them when you build a page. All right, so we built our first web page in the next video, right? That's where we built it, created our first web page. In the next video, we're going to format our first web page. And I'm making those bold because they're kind of milestones in our relationship with HTML and CSS.